coach. You had a chance to work with him. He was your assistant for a few years at Ferris State. What does this opportunity mean for you and to see one of your former assistants do well at the NHL level?
Well, I'm thrilled for Derrick. He worked with us from 2002 to 2006. He was a great addition to our staff. Ironically enough, he replaced Jeff Blashill. Jeff was on our staff prior to Derrick coming. He replaced Jeff. So in some respects, it's a little bittersweet. Obviously to see Jeff after 7 years move on, that's tough. But at the same token, I'm really excited for Derrick. I know he's going to do an outstanding job. And I look forward to watching him behind the wings bench this fall.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe it didn't work out with Blashill in Detroit. I still think getting to the NHL level as a head coach is an accomplishment in itself. What does that say about your program and that you've been able to get two coaches now that you've worked with to the Detroit Red Wings?
Well, I think it speaks to the aspect of our program that's development of our players is really important. And, our program, for the people that don't know, we play Division I. We're up against Michigan States of the world, and we fully expect to compete with them. Well, in order to be able to compete with them, it's really incumbent upon us to develop our talent, develop the players that we have. And that includes developing relationships with the kids. And in Derrick's case, I think that's one of his strong suits. He's really excellent communicator. He gets across his ideas very well, but he also takes a real interest in the people that he's working with. And that's not only the players, but his coaching staff as well.
Yeah, and he's been an assistant for a long time at Tampa. How proud are you to see him take over his own program in kind of his own capacity and take on that bigger role, which is, being a head coach?
Well, I think he's more than ready to take this responsibility on. He's been a head coach at the American League level and the USHL and the East Coast League with Toledo, which is part of the Red Wing organization. He's been successful at all those stops. He was successful as an assistant coach with us, and the same at Tampa Bay. So I know he's ready. Obviously, he's probably very excited to have his own program, if you will, in the NHL. I just think what really separates Derrick from a lot of other coaches I've worked with is his ability to communicate with the players. And I thought that was actually a strong suit of Jeff Blashill's as well. And I think Derrick will be not much different. He'll have his own ideas, obviously. But one thing that'll ring true is that he is an excellent communicator. And as I mentioned earlier, he's really takes an active role in people's lives.
Yeah, in his introductory press conference, he mentioned how he wants to get to know every single player. He said, my first task is to call every player on the team to make sure we have a good coach-player relationship. I mean, you've kind of alluded to it already, but is that a good example of the kind of coach that we can expect in Detroit this year?
Very much so. And he's going to take an interest in each player personally. He'll want to know about their family backgrounds, if they're married, if they have children. A lot of times his conversations will probably start off more about, hey, how's everything at home? How's the family? And that's the one thing I think that gets lost at times is that the players, whether they're in college or the National Hockey League, they all come from a background of some sort of family. And that's the most critical component to everyone. When things are good at home, when your life's going well, yeah, you're going to play better. And Derrick's cognizant of that. And actually, it goes more than just being cognizant of it. He truly cares. And I think that's really going to stand out when he starts communicating with the Red Wing players.
How do you see him handling the big task that is still continuing to rebuild what is there in Detroit?
Well, I watch a lot of the National Hockey League games and keep up with it pretty closely. And with Jeff being with the Detroit Red Wings, I was obviously watch them very closely. I think that they're getting closer all the time now. I think the talent is finally starting to come. They're starting to add more depth. While they're young in a lot of spots, I think that youth may serve him well. And I think that's where Derrick's going to be great. His background of working in the American Hockey League, in the East Coast League, as well as collegiate league, he's used to working with younger players. And so I think he's a great fit for the Red Wings. I think, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if next year's the year, but I think they're close to being a playoff team. And I think bringing Derrick in and his ability, as I've alluded to a few times, his ability to communicate with the players is going to serve him very well. And I wouldn't be surprised to see them in the hunt for a playoff spot late in the year next season.